Bitwise's unprecedented move to share their Bitcoin ETF main address seems to be causing some commotion, but also some excitement. Did they just make a huge mistake? Welcome back, everyone. The Bitcoin ETFs getting more interesting by the second. Here we've got this tweet from Alex Leishman. Somebody just sent 6,969 sats to the Bitwise ETF. It's now the only over-collateralized ETF. Yeah, that's right. Once they share those addresses, anybody can send Bitcoin to it. So that's kind of interesting. Anyways, let's dive into this because there's been some mixed takes on this, and we're also going to give our point of view on this because is this actually a good thing? I mean, sure, we can argue for transparency, but anyways, let's see what happened. Bitwise just made history with its spot Bitcoin ETF. Bitwise published its spot Bitcoin ETF address for the public to see and possibly track its content, if need be. This transparency move has triggered a goodwill donation from an anonymous Bitcoin holder who sent a total of 6,969 sats to the published address. Balkunas highlighted a major dilemma created by the generosity, as the transferred fund did not result in the creation of new shares as expected. Who actually expected that, though? He doubts whether this BTC would impact the price of the underlying asset, considering the unconventional way it was added to assets under management. Smaller asset managers like Bitwise need to deploy rare strategies to stay ahead of the curve. Publishing its address is one of these ways. Bitwise is also one of the first issuers to release a commercial for the spot Bitcoin ETF product, even before the product was greenlighted by the SEC for trading. The firm also lowered its fees to 0.2% alongside a 0% charge for the first 6 months, or $1 billion in total assets locked. Okay, so they're definitely trying to incentivize people to come on over and purchase their ETF product. Now, obviously, Bitcoiners are going to have a different take on this transparency. So some people really appreciate the proof of reserves. I don't think it's a bad thing to do proof of reserves, but it does now invite the situation of everybody can watch what is going in and out of that address. So maybe this becomes the necessity that creates some new innovation. Anyways, we'll see. I really appreciated Walton's take on this one. So here we go. The CEO of Bitwise Bitcoin ETF, who has 7 years in crypto, replies to this pleb to say they're working to upgrade their custody solutions. And that was a response to Walton's initial retweet, okay, of legacy finance using legacy addresses. Yeah, I haven't seen a one address in a very long time, but that is absolutely funny. And then Hunter Horsley, okay, who right here is the CEO of Bitwise Invest, right? He came back and said, very true, team working on the upgrade. Okay, couple of points. The first point, all right, has to do with the proof of reserves. Now, in the past, many companies in the crypto space have essentially tried to use this particular narrative in order to gain confidence from the market, right? From the market participants. It's a way for a company that is dealing in digital assets to be able to say, hey, look, you can trust us. We're transparent. Here's the address where all of our reserves are. Okay, fair enough. Now, the other point to it is that so some people said that in particular when it comes to Bitwise that this was a single signature address, not a multi-sig, okay? But there really is no evidence for or against that. So I don't know if that's just a giant nothing burger, but either way, okay? The thing that is interesting, okay? So the Bitcoin ETF, what if somebody actually posted this, and I do think that it's a good point. What if somebody sends sats from a sanctioned country, right? I mean, like, what are they going to do? They're going to send them back? I mean, they could. They could, but that does bring up a very interesting dilemma. And the other piece to this, which I want to point out that Eric Balkunas said, and I think that that's true, and this kind of goes back to a few videos I've already done, which people have given me shit for, but There's no real requirement to immediately create shares based off of any Bitcoin received. I don't understand. Like, people believe that somehow because every single time you're going to send Satoshis to these ETF addresses, they're automatically just going to create more shares. I mean, that's not how that seems to work. To wrap it up, do I appreciate what the Bitwise CEO is doing, what their marketing department is doing? Sure. Okay. They're doing, I think that they are thinking out of the box. I believe that they're doing a bit of a better job than Franklin Templeton, who put on the laser eyes and then proceeded to shill Web3 and all kinds of other crap. So yeah, I just, do I think Bitwise is doing a better job than that? Yes, I do. Do I like that they did the proof of reserves? I objectively think that that is a good step in the right direction. And I'm hoping that it's going to invite not necessarily other ETFs to do the same, but it's going to essentially push the conversation of, well, wait a second, we want people to know what we hold, but we don't necessarily want people to know where it's going and where it's coming from. Anyways, guys, let me know what you think. Put it in the comments. That does it for today's clip. I am going to catch you guys all next week.